Something I wanted to really highlight in my playthrough of this game so far is the fact that none of the skills are given to you. Kind of thinking about Kingdom Come Deliverance from a learning games perspective, or like a learning by doing perspective. You have to learn everything in the game. Nothing is said, okay, go do this and you'll learn how to pickpocket, or you'll learn how to swing a sword. The game presents you with thematic and plot events where you then are forced to either learn by doing or flounder and die, to put it bluntly. And given the fact that this is, a medieval game, that kind of makes sense. Something in particular that I wanted to show is how you learn weapon skills. This is Rattay. It's kind of the main hub of the game so far. I'm only about 10 hours in. But if you want to learn how to be a better fighter, which is kind of pivotal to a game about, knights and lords and big European armies, you got to practice. I think that's something that's interesting because some of the skills we might want to build into our games for, teaching students or training people is the idea of practice. And so I've come to the combat arena. That's Captain Bernard over there. We're going to talk to him in a second. But you can come here at any point in the game and just practice your combat skills. So we're going to talk to him real quick, and then we'll get in the ring.
I'd like to train a bit, just lightly, with practice weapons.
Right. Let's get to it. What weapon would you like to try? I've got a bastard sword, a short sword. We can fight with poles. Whatever you fancy.
So for this, the weapon I have right now is a longsword. I'm still real bad with it, so I think we're going to practice with that.
I still don't feel entirely competent with the bastard sword. I'd like to try that.
Right, lad. Grab your piece, and we'll get stuck in. Goodbye.
So before we hop into this, I just want to pause for a second. I'm only going to show a little bit of this. It kind of can get repetitive unless you're doing it, in which case it can become mind-numbingly frustrating. But everything's different. Every time you fight an enemy, especially Captain Bernard, it's different. As you increase in skill, the combat challenge, right? Defeating the knight is going to be more difficult because the game recognizes your skill level increasing. So that's something that I think could be interesting to think about when you're designing repetitive tasks in a game, especially ones aimed at learning. How do you make them more challenging, A, so that participants don't get bored, but also B, make them engaging still. So let's see how I do against Captain Bernard here.
Yeah! Bugger!
So we're not doing great. Captain Bernard has been doing this in his entire life, and up until about a couple weeks ago, I was a blacksmith son. So much more used to swinging a hammer than a sword. But Captain Bernard's probably taking it easy on me. So yeah, that was just a little bit of how that works. What can happen now is if I keep doing that over and over again, the game will eventually reward me with a small, stat numbers buff. But really, the reason that exists is so I can practice actually fighting, which I think is kind of cool. So thanks for hanging out.